Early 1950s, January 2022. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is Nick Ferrand and these are my Italian one-take property tours. We've got something really special today. And we are selling a vineyard. It's a hobby vineyard. And I'm going to probably just cut sections because I'm quite a long way away from different elements which I'd like to show you today. And we're going to start with a ruin, move on to the vineyard and move on to the business and the buildings which are down below. So I might cut it, but you'll get the gist and each element will be one take. Okay, just put this in the back of the car. And off we go. Right then, what have we got? Well, let's deal with the location first of all. We're going to pull round and you're going to get some flare, and that is due west. And if I pull the camera around and shield myself by this oak tree, you can see that the valley, if I pull up, drops down below and then comes up to the other side, and that town, which is on the top of the hill, is called Montoni. And it was voted as one of the best medieval preserved towns in Italy. Now, once a year there's a film festival there, started by the one and only and great Terry Gilliam. Absolutely fantastic. What did the Romans ever do for us? Well, where do I start? Okay, so let's pull back here and let's see what we've got. Now, I've just driven up and it's a kind of gravel road, but it does need repairing. And you've got two ruined buildings. Now, from the picture I showed you at the beginning of the video, it was obviously functioning as a home and a farm in, well, I mean, I don't know when it fell into this dilapidation, but I would have thought, you know, maybe in the 60s or the 70s, and this is a barn. Now, there is a good possibility that this could be a wonderful guest house. And if I pull around here, and I've bought another one of the company cars today because this is a Land Rover and it's a proper 4x4, and I just wanted to make sure that I could get up the hill. And what we're looking at now is a ruined farmhouse, and that farmhouse is approximately 400 square meters. Now, the barn is 80 square meters. We are in Umbria today, and there is a good possibility that one could get permitted development of an additional 100 square meters on this property. And I'm just going to show you this. Now, first of all, I would want to probably pull this down. I don't know whether I want to save it. I mean, if I look up here, you know, I'm normally, when we go on these property tours, I'm normally just talking about the beautiful stonework. But, you know, to be honest with you, I think at this point, and I will explain to you in a minute why, but if I can pull in there, I'll just put the stand down, see if I can get in through those brambles at all. I mean, it does have, oh, the gimbal's going a bit doolally. It does have a beautiful arch, which maybe potentially could be saved, but the amount of time for restoration, and you can see here the stairs, which is in concrete, and again up here and along, which would have been a balcony, you've got a mixture of new bricks and steel, and old stone and terracotta tiling, and potentially, you know, I think it's going to be cheaper to pull it down and then reuse the stone than it would be to try to restore this building. But, you know, it's a charming building. Look at it, absolutely gorgeous. But now, thinking about it sensibly, you have, as I pull around, this outstanding view of Montoni on the other hill. And I believe that one could take this building and orientate it by 90 degrees. So it would be this way towards you, and then you would have that absolutely amazing view and an amazing sunset, and that is exactly what I would like to do. One of the things which I've noticed, which is great as I came up here, is that the garden area, which will be your garden, is all completely flat. Now, again, there might be a possibility that one could move the barn and do something else with that. I wonder whether we should walk around to the other side of the building so I can just, yeah, I think we will. So yeah, what a beautiful day it is today. I'm in my jumper, taking off my coat. It's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. But you can see, unfortunately, that the wall has collapsed, and you know, the stones, which you can see, these red blocks, I don't know whether you can see them, but you can just see them there. And that must have been some renovation which was done later on. And again, here, you know, you've got this original mixture which they would have used, and I think that, yeah, I'm gonna pull it down. But the back of the house, it's absolutely charming, and you've just got this beautiful flat land leading down, and the land leads all the way up 45 hectares. You know, that's quite a chunk. And I think personally, I don't know whether you're going to see this. I'm going to try to cut the flare, but you know, you can see the sun shining, just glistening in here where the flare is. But here will just be the most outstanding place for a swimming pool. And you've got this huge, far-reaching view. Now, we're January 2022, and I would tell you that basically by the time we get to June and July, the sun is actually going to set straight over that hill. Absolutely lovely. What a position. Now, it's a lady that owns this farm, who I know, and she's absolutely lovely, and she's been managing this farm for a number of years, and it makes 5 different wines. Now, if you're sitting in a metropolis somewhere and you think to yourself, well, you know, I would like to have a crack at that. I actually feel like changing my life and moving here and have my own vineyard. It doesn't stop there, because basically in 2007 they planted a number of trees and they injected them with truffle spores, and there's truffles in this area, and it's well known for truffles in this area. And I've just seen a chap which we're going to try to bump into, and I hope he hasn't left, and he's out with his dog, and he is looking for truffles. So you have basically your own wine production, your own truffles, and your own olive oil. Now, what could be better than that? All you need is a slice of bread, and that would be it. Right, now I'm just going to show you the road going down. Well, it's not really a road. It does have a well up here, but I think that what one would do with this building project is probably bring up, because there's town water at the bottom of the hill, and there's been a quote, it's going to cost you about 20,000 euros. Seems a lot of money, but then you'll be connected to the mains water supply, and I think that's a really good idea. What a beautiful view. Let me pull around here slowly, and then you can get an idea of the surroundings. It would make just such a... Can you imagine if the house was this way, and then you had some large arches, and you looked over, you know, the medieval village, and the sun was just glistening through the windows, and the sunset, and you had a large terrace here and your pool at the back. That's heaven, absolute heaven. I spoke to Valeria. I popped up before we were going to do this video, and she said that she gets approached about once a week from developers that actually want to buy this, but they want to buy it and they don't want to actually buy anything else. And Valeria would like to, you know, sell it all together. Now, the price, 1.9 million euros. Yes, I know, don't fall off your perch, but as you go round, and when we get to the bottom and at the end of this tour, and I expect your comments, you will start thinking to yourself, well, you know, I mean, that's a 2-bedroom apartment in London. I mean, really? I can hear a little bit of noise. You're in farming country. It's a long way away, but apart from that, I can just hear the rustling of the leaves. Okay, so if you want further information, I mean, on this part of the tour, just don't forget to send us an email. I'll try to get some plans. I'm not quite sure whether any projects have been submitted or potentially drawn by architects. But as I said to you, I think that would make an amazing project. And what's so amazing about it, when we get down to the building below, you will see that there is an opportunity to actually create a really nice 1-bedroom apartment so you could live below while this is being restored. Okay, right, that's it. That's the ruin. And now we're moving on to the vineyard. So I'll see you in a moment. Okay, great. Thanks. So here we are down in the olive grove, and there are approximately 800 olive trees, and there's another patch of land which has olives, but they haven't been cleared. Now, I don't know whether you can see this, but just at the top of the hill, just here, we've just come down over this side. That's where the ruin was, and the main building, and you can't see it, behind this big oak tree here, lovely, there is the barn. So the road, if I pull round, is just over here. In fact, I'm going to show you, well, it's actually a track which is leading up, and here it is here. Unfortunately, I've missed the chap with his truffle dog, but just over the top of that hill, there's 2 hectares of fenced land, which, as I mentioned, has been the spores have been laid in the trees. The trees are growing, and so that should give you your truffle harvest, which happens every year, I think. And maybe I'll be corrected, so comments below. There are black truffles, which are the winter truffles, and white truffles, which are the summer truffles. I actually prefer black truffles than the white ones myself. And they are absolutely fantastic. And to give you an orientation, going in this direction, in about for 40 minutes, you get to Perugia. The nearest town to you is a town called Umbria, and that's about 15 minutes away maximum, and that's really your nearest town. For it has a hospital, it has everything you want, a very small train station, which is a line leading to Perugia. And then further afield to the right, there's the motorway, the E45, and that would take you to a town called Città di Castello. And then you are on the border with Tuscany, and if you drive up by about 12 kilometers, you arrive at a fantastic town called San Sepolcro. And for those of you that haven't seen my video on San Sepolcro, and there's just the most amazing apartment and a bit of history, I will link it at the end of this video, and it's well worth a look. Now, let's do number 9. Yes, fire station number 9. Now, this, and I'm not sure which these are, and there'd be a mixture between Chardonnay and Merlot, and there is another grape from the north of Italy as well. And as I mentioned, they make 5 different wines here on this estate, and at the moment the production is about 8,000 bottles. Yeah, that should be enough. That should work. And they're quite expensive actually in Italy, the retail price, and we'll get to that when we have a look inside. Now, what do I want to show you? I wanted to show you this actually. Sorry, I'm going in the wrong direction. Now I can see a man's coat, so that obviously he's out cutting. And I'm going to show you last season's vines. And so if we look here, you come down, I'm trying to get out of the sun so you can get an idea of what's going on. And you see the vine there, and you see that that's been cut, and that will actually give a new growth. And then they take a stem right? And then they put the stem down and then tie that there. You see that? There, and then cut off the wood. So really what you want is the nutrients from the ground to come up and, you know, to feed the grapes. And then here, this hasn't been cut. Now, I know this because I have a small vineyard myself, and I know how much work there's involved in doing this. But, I mean, the satisfaction is fantastic. They're like your little babies when you see them grow. And I'm just gonna, look, pull down here. You have the most beautiful view. And you see the sun, it's actually gonna set over those hills. Now, over there in the distance, you might be able to see it. There's a whopper of a mountain, and that's Montecute. And that's just a fantastic walk to get to the top of there for a day out. And at the top of that mountain, there are some wild horses. Right, so this is your vineyard. How absolutely amazing is that? Come up here, beautiful clean air, no pollution, bit of bread, glass of wine, some pepperoni cheese. I mean, life is good, isn't it? I can hear the bells from the town. Okay. So we've done the olives, we've done the truffles, we've done the vineyard, and now what we're going to do is we're going to pop down and I'm going to show you the engine room. The engine room. Let's get down to the engine room and see what that's got to offer. Okay, and see you in a sec. Thanks. Ciao. So here we are back down. Close door. Here we are back down on the road level, and well, what comes with it? Tractor and all the kit as well. And I'm going to just show you that, and I pull around, and then we'll just come across here. This is the gas tank, and then they have their own diesel. Now, this is held in a company. And I would suggest that anybody who would like to come and move here or would be interested in this probably would want to set up their own company. Now, Valeria has already spoken to me about that she is willing to stay on and either work for you or help in the first year to sort out everything. Maybe give some ideas. She knows everybody. Her mother is American, her father is Italian. And I just think that would be an amazing thing to do. So I think because you need some help, first of all. You do need some help. And I think that would be absolutely fantastic. Now, this building is a ground up restoration, and it's 760 square meters. Now, I'm telling you now that you could have an office, you could have a cookery school, you could maybe turn it into a restaurant. I'm going to show you an area which could easily be converted into a apartment. So let's just pop in. I'll show you this. Permesso. Right, salve. Okay, so the moment we come in, we have this gorgeous steel and open plan with bright light spaces. Wine tasting. Now, here are the wines, and we're going to get to those in a mo, but I am going to have a good old rummage around here and quickly show you this. All right, let's pop to here. As you can see, it's a working business. Excuse me. Okay, so just walking down here. Right. Oop. See if I can turn some lights on. Okay, so this is the storeroom, and there is a garage door which is automatic, which you can use to drive in. And this area here, which I'm going to show you in a mo when I get down, is already, although they haven't built it yet or installed it, ready to have a lift going down into the cantina, which is below. Air conditioning throughout. It's lovely and warm. What have I got in there? Right, that's the tech room with all the electricity supply, and then you have a kitchen here, a coffee machine. I'm going to pop downstairs. There's a lift. Let's turn some lights on in here. So you can get some lights on in there as well. Right, now, here. This is the room you want to be locked in, just in case there was any issue in the world. You just bring a glass. But saying that, the wine is made in a town called Trestana, and that's about 10 kilometers away. But it would be very easy to actually, and here when we walked into the storage area, and I've turned the light off upstairs, but I said that there was an area which was predisposed for a lift to come down, and that's it. So if one put a lift in there, you could come down, and potentially that you could have all your barrels on site. Yeah, fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Right, turn that light off. Back in. Let's walk across into the other room here. See what we've got now. There's a bit of clutter here and a bit of storage, but this is also a fantastic room, and you've got a door to the right of you that leads out to a staircase which leads out into an area which you could use as wine tasting. Valeria was telling me the other day, and I think I'll show you this. Oh, I forgot to mention, all the wine's organic. Everything's organic. The oil, absolutely everything, and obviously the truffles are organic. But look at these. Right? These are special waxes, and you heat them up. It's really fantastic and earthy and just great, and I love it. And she's testing out new types of bottle tops, which are in wax. I think that's great. Let's have a look at those over there. Yeah, orange is my favourite colour. What's that? That's the Chardonnay. One could have presentations down here, or potentially this could be a cooking school. The possibilities are endless, absolutely endless. Right, let's go down and have a rummage. What's at the back of that? Okay, so that's just more storage in there. There's nothing really of that interest, that importance. That's what's in there. Oh, I love a tech room myself. Let's get the light on. Oh, look at that. Yeah, fantastic. Right. Expansion tanks, hot water, air pump. Right, good. Excellent stuff. Water purifier. Excellent. Right, you've got the lift. Right, we are going to burn some calories and take the stairs. Look how lovely and bright this is. I mean, it really would make a fantastic restaurant, that's for sure. Absolutely. Right. Yeah, air conditioning units. What's in there? Venti ingresso. Automatic lights. Oh, good. Disabled toilet. And then what's in there? Oh, good. His and hers. Very good. Okay, I'm going to pop up now to... It's got a really nice feel about it, actually, the open plan. Now, this is the section that I said could quite easily be modified and to create a self-contained apartment. So while you're... Good afternoon, doggy. Good afternoon, everybody. Buon pomeriggio. As I said, that's what you could do. Vieni qua. Oh. Yeah, Mackie's not here today, unfortunately, with me. Look at that for a window. What I am saying is that if you blocked this wall here, you kept obviously the lift, and then you had a separate door at the top of the stairs, we might even need that. You probably need a secondary means of escape, so yes. But then you could quite easily turn this into a really nice apartment. I can see an alarm system. This is the company kitchen area. Beautiful west-facing light streaming through now the windows as we're getting towards the sunset. Yeah, I think that's just a cupboard. Okay, and then we come down here and we've got a bathroom. Let's see if I can get some lights on here. Right, good. Bidet, nice shower, toilet. A bedroom, a TV, and there's a little bed there. And I know that Valeria's children used to hang out here at some point. And then, ooh, closets. Right, quite a lot of storage space. You know, you could quite easily be very happy living here while you're building your house upstairs and developing your business. I mean, this is such a beautiful space here for a living room. I mean, really, honestly, look at the light. It's just gorgeous. Right, I think this is the last section. Okay, so you've got quite a big corridor and a workshop here and a door leading out, and that's where the tractor was and where I parked my car. Now, Valeria mentioned to me that, you know, if you wanted a modern house, that you could actually make a planning application and turn this into one modern building. So I'm going to cut this video now because I've come back. I talked about the wine yesterday, and what I want to do is actually talk to Valeria about her wines. Hi Valeria, how are you?
Hi Nick.
Okay. Now I'm looking at these labels and I think they're absolutely fantastic. Could we begin to talk about the wines that you produce here?
Sure. Here we have implanted among the years 4 different kinds of grape varieties, 2 reds and 2 whites. So we began in 2007 with Syrah grapes,
right,
and Tokai Friulano grapes. So Syrah, as you know, is a red grape. We also make a rosé from Syrah grapes.
Let me see the bottle because I just love that label. Is that something which is new?
Yes, this was our first rosé made from vintage 2019, and I love the label. This is a painting from a good friend of mine, a British friend. She lives in Città di Castello, right nearby.
And what's her name?
Lucy Toop.
Okay, all right. Hi Lucy,
Great
beautiful
artist.
label. Excellent, we love it. So going along from the next one, because what we've done is that we've put the wines at their relative prices. So if I came to you at the moment, I was going to buy this particular wine, how much would you charge me? What is the price of that?
$12.50.
$12.50,
yes.
okay. So let's go on and find out the prices of the other wines as well.
This is $13.50, this is 14, and then we have 18 and 16.
Okay, so they're not the run-of-the-mill normal wines. They're actually, they are special. What's so special about them?
We chose not to implant anything typical from Umbria. So on one way, we had the freedom to start the way we preferred. And so we made an analysis of the soil that we have here and the microclimate. And based on that, and based also on our preferences, of course, on what we liked, we decided to implant these vineyards. So we have, as I already mentioned, Syrah and Tokai Friulano, and then we also have Chardonnay and Pinot Noir.
Okay, can we go back to this one? Because I was trying to describe this yesterday, and this grape is from where exactly?
This is a grape typical from northeast of Italy. And it has a particular story because in around 2007, if I'm correct, but I might get that wrong, there has been let's say an argument in between the Friuli region and Hungary on the name Tokai. Because Hungary has a different a wine that it's called Tokai, but it's a totally different wine.
Is this very similar to Chianti Classico? Is that the same kind of thing within the region that you couldn't actually call it Chianti anymore, or is this just a...
Yes, so Hungary won the name Tokai, and so only a small part of Friuli, and a small area of Friuli is allowed to call this wine Friulano, and on the outside of this area, you can only call it with alternative names.
Yes.
In Friuli region.
Okay, so where is the Friuli region?
Excuse me?
Where is the region?
Northeast of Italy.
North, right at the top?
Yeah, northeast.
Okay.
Yes, and only a few regions in Italy are allowed to grow such grape. Umbria is one of these regions. Also because of, let's say, historical reasons, since this grape was once grown also here in northern Umbria. So this is one of the reasons we were allowed to actually plant and grow this kind of grape. And but the other regions are not even allowed to write it on the back label, the kind of grape that it's made from, the wine. So, as you can see, we have given the other wines the name of the grape, since we're making at the moment wines that are 100% the grape. In this case, the name has nothing to do with the grape itself.
Let me have a look at that. Can you lift the bottle up so
Yes,
we can all see the label? Right, okay, I like that label as well. Okay, fantastic. So, I mean, it's a special grape then?
Yeah, somehow.
And how many bottles do you make a year?
As I mentioned, we have implanted everything from scratch, so there was nothing here at the farm when we began.
Right.
So the amount of wine produced varies
From
every
season
year.
from season.
Yes. We only use our own grapes, so we do not buy grapes from other farms. And now we're starting to get to a more stable production. At the moment, we are around 8,000 barrels total.
Right, yeah.
More or less.
Okay,
Yes.
all right, that's fantastic. And if I wanted to increase the amount of bottles, could I do that? Or
Yes.
if basically the new buyer came along and maybe wanted to have 3 instead of 5 wines, is there a possibility that
There
one could
are
do that?
Plenty of possibilities.
The possibilities are endless.
Yes, because actually I'm making a very extreme selection of the grapes. I'm doing this both to maintain a high quality of the wines and also to keep a controlled quantity production, let's say.
Right.
This said, of course, the numbers with the hectares of vineyards that we have can get much higher than we are producing now, and also the variety of wines, because we are making one grape wines. Not sure if this is the correct.
Yeah,
way
that's
to say
fantastic.
it,
That's
but
fantastic.
You can choose. You could choose to make blends.
Okay.
You could choose to work them in different ways, alternative ways, getting at the end, achieving a total different result that could give you a different label. So you could choose whether to have less bottled wines or more. So
I always have to, I always feel that basically less is more and quality, not quantity.
Yes.
That's what I would like to say.
We agree.
And then basically, the last thing is that the olive oil, because I mean, I like this label as well. Look at that.
Thank
It's just
you.
really fantastic. And is that something, how many litres of olive oil do you make a year, do you think?
With the oil, we have lower production. Also, the olive trees, we have about 800 olive trees that were implanted in between 2007 and 2008.
Yeah.
So the last season, we actually made about 100 some liters.
That's all right. Well, that's okay. That doesn't really matter. That's enough. Absolutely enough. Now, I'm going to go off and finish the video now, and I just want to thank you so much.
Thank you, Nick.
Thank you. And when I get back, let's start opening.
Yes.
Thank
I got
you.
the glasses.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you, Nick.
It's an interesting concept. You want to change your life, or you want to buy a second home in Italy. Maybe you want an activity, maybe you would like to retire, but this is not the time for you to actually just put your tools away in the cupboard and actually do nothing. I just find it just quite interesting that you've got somebody who has a love and passion for wine. She owns this really manageable 45-hectare wine estate where you could, take over, and then, she would come with you on the journey and make sure that you're okay. And then after that, probably be around to help you if you need her. And I just think that's just absolutely fantastic. Now, I hope you enjoy this. And if you have any comments or you would like to have further information, just send us an email at info@abodeitaly.com. And I hope to see you on the next tour. Oh, by the way, please like and do those things, and that would be great. Thank you so much, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks. Bye-bye.